Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mac. This is Let's Play Limbus Company Regular Health Checkup. In the last episode, we got through two more of the tests against Pekatulum. I feel like we actually are doing pretty well with keeping our green streak going, even when we're kind of blind on what's waiting for us at the end. So these are just going to be the Pride and the Lust. Don't take 10 or more hits during the counter for each identity. Interesting. It is kind of cool how they're changing up the X objectives now. Lust is going to be a problem though, because also having no battery power is going to be a problem. Lust is going to be a problem though because Ishmael is weak to it. We don't have Ryoshu is weak to... Ryoshu isn't weak to Pride though, at least not on her base ego, and we'd want to use her base ego over this.
주인놈 뜻에 따라 준비 완료.
We don't have any gloom resources, huh? I think between the two we actually want to bring in the Picod Captain. Yeah, I know, I don't mind. Like, for the X objective, maybe the evades would be better, but I feel like the COD Captain has better synergy, and we also need to have the Envy skills so we can power Ryoshu's super attack. Well, they won't do too much trouble. Next up to you two. Get in there! With Ryoshu? Let's do this, I guess? ST. What? She wants to switch teams. Really? Now? What's your problem this time, Ryoshu? Your dulled harpoon doesn't interest me. It's dulled so much that I doubt it can even impale that sickly nerd over there. I don't think she'll have too much trouble impaling Hohenheim. I'd much rather watch that blood fiend fight again. Thou speakest of me? That's... 'tis quite the pickle. Wait, she wants to switch teams. Is that alright? Of course not. You heard the man. Let's go. I'll admit that my harpoon's not as sharp as it used to be. I'll admit that I've lost a bit of my edge since then. But we're all sailing on the same boat. I'm not going to hold you or anyone else back. I'm always ready to go back to razor sharpness when the need arises. I'm swapping you out as soon as you start making a fool of yourself. Lass, I thought I've been clear enough on this. Switching teams ain't a thing. Pekatulum Super Bay, Pride. Hohenheim droned on, as if the bickering sinners didn't exist in his world. Wheels, symbol of technology and the vector of humanity's ultimate pursuit. The wheel, in its boundless pride, rolls on and on in search of the perfect circle, something unconquered even by nature. Yet, it remains uncaring for the flesh it rends nor the grass it tramples in its path. I didn't notice the question mark block, so I don't think we're going to be seeing the level 3 version of them, unfortunately. Isn't that just confidence, not pride? You can't get anything done just by sitting idly in place. One might even say that pride is but another name for overconfidence. It oft-claims trailblazers or those who have never tasted failure. Which is why it was effective against Chroma in Canto 3 and Captain Ahab in Canto 5. Pride was very often a weakness of the bosses, I think up until Heathcliff's Canto. Someone like you, Hohenheim? Well, that certainly is a perspective. Next up is luxurie, lust. Moving on just like that, huh? The meaning of peccatulum luxuriae, lust, is not exactly what it says on the tin. A more illustrative description would be to say that it is, yes, an obsession to spread a fragment of what forms the self. A desire to propagate, to breed. I recall it being more animalistic instincts and desires, but sure, I don't pretend to be an expert. Of course, there's more to this concept than just that. While the word itself may be subject to interpretations limited to the carnal understanding, to share one's knowledge, one's ideas, to invite others into gaining the understanding of a sliver of oneself. You seek to express that such things are lust as well. Not bad. I always appreciate these discussions with the learned. There's never any dead air. Admit it, Heathcliff. All of that flew right over your head, didn't it? Why even ask? Unnecessary. Shut up and get in there. I see they're back to needling each other. Okay, let's have a look-see. Neutral. Oh, screw that noise. Wait, I didn't read their statistics! Ah, we just gave her a lot of aggro, didn't we? When gaining poise, gain 3 poise or 2 additional poise count. When on hit, inflict 2 additional bleed or 1 additional bleed count, huh? Okay. Actually, maybe we could just go all in on lust hits here. On skill 1, I mean. Man, we're getting unlucky with these procs for assist attack, aren't we?
나를 보호해라.
4 lust, 4 pride. Oh right, you're weak to pride, huh? we should be able to use her. We should be able to use Ryoshu's Vov, which will start getting us lots of ego resources.
저놈을 추적해! 꿈을 꾸러 가도록. 이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지. 보았나? 적은 이렇게 진리겨졌다. 우리의 확고한 승리가 눈앞에 있다. 저놈을 추적해! 눈감을 준비하고.
Question, how high level are they? Level 50, so we have to be cautious. Yeah, no, save that for a different time.
전투응대에 나선다. 눈감을 준비하고.
Where'd you get that defense level up from, actually? Oh, right, we're using our guard skill. That's giving you defense, I think.
나를 보호해라.
Second wave, so we're almost done. Oh, okay.
총원 불격! 눈감을 준비하고. 이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
Okay, counter skill. Actually, I think she might be able to stagger him outright, so go right ahead.
총원 불격! 영원한 참으로 인도하지. 영원한 참으로 인도하지.
The manager's concern for the sinners wasn't empty words, I see. Very well, this concludes the preliminary reports we had on hand, or something along those lines, because he didn't give me enough time to read it.
전투응대는 성공적이었다. 나쁘지 않은 움직임이었어. 이제 다른 쪽 집안일로 돌아가지.
No damage taken. Stinging, huh? Each unit defeats the Pecatulum that has taken their shape once. Oh wait, really?
책임은
소재가 준비됐어?
We're missing gluttony for... Sorry. We're missing gluttony for our best skills, huh? We're missing pride for Don Quixote's. And envy We're missing all the good stuff, basically.
이거 참 설레는구려.
Verily, nigh is the time for young Yi Sang and I to face the test. The nature of our trial shall take form as peccator invidiae. I assume that we all have a first-hand experience with static shocks. Huh? Doth static shock have aught to do with envy? Anyone who's been subjected to both static shock and the envy of others must know the latter stings in the same manner as the former does. I ill comprehend thy explanations. I see. To explain in plainer example, Miss Don Quixote, you have always been fond of and held great respect for the illustrious colour fixes, am I correct? Verily, I should be second to none were my passion for them to be measured. Now, imagine yourself at a convention of sorts, in which said illustrious colour fixers are holding an event to disseminate their autographs. And imagine you are part of the excited queue. Oh, indeed, I have mentally placed myself there. Proceed! Yet, in great misfortune, the event comes to a close mere moments before you were to receive your autograph. Alack for woe! Fate playeth such cruel jest on my pitiful soul! Now, do imagine, what sort of emotion would you feel for the fellow fan who received the final autograph immediately before you were to receive yours, ere the chance was robbed? Well, 'twould be quite the jealousy burning within mine heart, a painfully tingly sensation in my... Oh! You certainly enjoy explaining things, don't you? I suppose all scholars are kindred spirits after all. You two, quit the chinwag, get in there! Verily, then, onward to a new adventure. Then I shall follow. Hopefully they aren't pierce resistant. We at least don't have shared... Ooh. Oh dear. Okay, attacks we cannot allow through. And we don't have any choice in the matter. Damn it. Why is she rolling? She naturally rolls 8. Right. $36, $56. I despise it. I despise it a lot. Ugh. At least he loses the envy weakness if we do it like that.
점 찍었네.
Ooh, you got our heads on that? Really? Okay, this is a lucky start that I fear might not last.
완성되었네. 점 찍었네. 합격점.
Oh boy, W core though. Did they just start off with enough charge to use all these super skills, or is it just level difference? On the upside, you're not smart enough to use rip space correctly. And that ruins his SP just a little bit, so we have a chance here.
합격점. 이상이 무엇이라습니까?
Heavily resisted, but it is giving us a strength down on him and a speed up next turn, so we can do clever evasion tricks. Yeah, we got both, We're never gonna get a chance to see this usually. Oh wait, we don't get a chance to see it because it's not on her main skill. Never mind.
점 찍었네. 이제야 완성되었나? 걸작을 자아냈나? 마에스트로님이 어떤 평가를 내려주실지 흥분이 가시지 않는구려.
We did take a little bit of hits, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, hang on. This one is a fight, so we can't afford to do that. Is there one that we could easily get through? It's just that we're so close to getting Yi Sang.
주인놈 뜻에 따라 가스 점화 엔진 시동.
Okay, skim ahead briefly.
총원 불격. 저놈을 추적해. 저놈을 추적해.
+4 pride power is insane. Imagine if we had 3 over Ishmael's skill 2 instead of just 2.
나를 보호해라. 총원 불격. 이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지. 보았나? 적은 이렇게 짓이겨졌다. 우리의 확고한 승리가 눈앞에 있다. 이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지. 보았나? 적은 이렇게 짓이겨졌다. 우리의 확고한 승리가 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다. 하! 하!
Beat it to Ishmael. It's a guaranteed crit, though.
잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않. 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금의 선원들 나를 보호해라. 전투응대에 나선다. 문장을 준비하고. 자! 저놈을 추적해!
Shame Ishmael wasn't first so that you could get that pride effect up before all that, but oh well. Was this a mistake on the sinner's part? Screw you.
총원 불경! 영원한 참으로 인도하지. 영원한 참으로 인도하지. 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다.
Oh. We started at 24 minutes, so we should have about 6 minutes to go.
성공적이었다. 나쁘지 않은 움직임이었어. 이제
We can
다른
afford
족속에게로
this.
아, 그대. 잠시 쉬고 가지 않겠나? 그리고 온 김에 이 실험 결과 정리를 도와주게. 끝내기 전까지는 돌아갈 수 없으니 도망은 포기하시고.
Someone actually added the little fairy for VTubers that might be working on Limbus Company. I'm not a VTuber, so I can't make use of it. But okay, so starting off, gain 2 aggro. If the target has 15 rupture and 3 count, don't inflict stuff. There's no actual bonus to his skills here, so it reaches a flat 9 and only deals 5. It becomes a 5 power skill max after losing the clash. Here it's a 6 plus 6. Also doesn't gain power, so it just gains aggro. If target has 15 rupture and count, don't inflict count. Only 1 count, that's really mean. And gain 2 fairy lure once per turn from using the counter skill. Great. Yeah, you wouldn't want to use him in that fight we just went through because Fake Yi Sang has... the Blade Lineage Yi Sang has Slash. That would hurt. Like everything in that... almost everything in that fight was Slash based. Okay, if you uptie it, speed goes from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. On Clash, lose gain 5 more power equal to number of skills targeting the unit to a maximum of 2. Gain 3 aggro. Increase rupture potency infliction on Clash lose. On Clash lose gain final power equal to skills targeting this unit to a maximum of 3. So it won't be enough to break past it, but it'll at least not be a total waste. And he gains the passive that means when I die, inflict rupture and rupture count. This is reflected in their appearance more closely resembling the source abnormality than the ego of the... Though it must be prefaced that for ego gears are standardized equipment, when juxtaposed with ego gear from Elcor, depending on the degree of attunement to... Okay, raise his speed minimum from 3 to 4, unlock his skill 3, raise the base power on his skill 1. Raise the base power on his skill 2. When an ally with the least HP is killed, gain ego resources.
나를 못 본 척하고 있어주게. 곧 탈출한 환상체가 이쪽에 관심을 보이면 내가 이 망치로 한 번에 제압할 테니.
The idiosyncrasies of the source may be utilized with greater flexibility. Ego disintegration is not unlike decomposition of compost, though it must be prefaced that ego gears are standardized equipment when juxtaposed with ego from Elcor, depending on the degree of the attunement. Oh. The researcher ran after the giggling blue fairy, only to realize he had walked into an unfamiliar place. He whips around, realizing his mistake, only to see that the door locked behind him. Oh no, the door has locked behind you, hasn't it? It seems you have found yourself mired in my tricks again. The child let out a light chuckle before gloating at the researcher who was lured in by his ego gear. Boss, Yi Sang, for the 17th time. Can you please stop using your ego gear for pranks like this? I swear, I keep getting scared that I just walked into an actual abnormalities den. My apologies, the report must be compiled by the end of the day today, yet I'm availed but 2 hands of mine to complete it. Yeah, and guess how many hands I've got? 2. And I must ask for your understanding, for the longer an ego gear remains equipped, the greater the synchronization of user and source abnormality. For, in addition, these gears are made to transform and change with the fluctuations in the level of attunement betwixt the wearer and the source. I have not the nature of deception, it is but the manifestation of the gear's effects. Well then take it off from time to time, will ya? Yet how shall I, as a proper researcher? This department of Limbus Company focuses on the study of abnormalities and distortions, coupled with managing enkephalin extractions. They are called the LCE. Perhaps it is inevitable that occupation dedicated to the study of what are essentially monsters would invite a sundry of oddball personalities, but it was particularly pronounced for this department. Oh yeah, if you gotta slowly lose yourself to be a proper researcher, then what does that make me? This guy sounds an awful lot like Heathcliff. Ooh, what if Heathcliff was the AEDD remix identity? That would be a twist. Well, that is not how I intended to convey. To get straight to the point, this child was one of those oddballs. Fully geared up in his ego gear all day, clocking into work even on his off days, truly an incomprehensible individual. It is merely by need that it must remain on me at all times, for this research report concerns this fellow. Besides, it may be put to use for one such purpose as well, and... Man, I should put in a transfer request to the different zone. I swear, you better watch your back once I get my own ego gear. Very well, perhaps it shall be understood, my perspective, in no time. Ah, shush, just tell me what I gotta do. If he despised the child's overbearing trickery so much, he could have simply turned around and left. But he did not. Well, perhaps it was that he simply could not. I must ask you review the files from AFQ 155564 to 30,000 and rearrange them in order. Are you sure that's doable in a day? Anything can be made possible, should we put our minds to it. It's literally all on physical levels impossible! The researcher finally exploded at the child. I mean, what the hell were you thinking, making a locking mechanism like that? What could possibly be the purpose of a door that locks us from the inside, but can't be reopened until a certain amount of work is complete? For reasons ascribable to our human births, the time may come in which we are faced with ostensibly insurmountable war, thus breaking our wills. Yet, were one to be surrounded by walls, given no choice but to crawl oneself out of... Yeah, okay, great, just don't drag other people into your problems. I probably have some other responsibilities I should be working on today, so... No. You did not have any other responsibilities. What? For a moment, it was as though the office was hit by a blackout. Then ominous red light began to flash. Warning, abnormality containment breach, code red, area, office wing lane C. This has to be... The trumpet. The audio warning that a degree of damage, such as an abnormality containment breach, has occurred at the facility. The LCE department, the group that has absorbed much of Lobotomy Corporation, has maintained this practice. It doesn't sound exactly the same, however. Is this the first trumpet? The researcher looked around nervously, taken by surprise. But the child began gravely, as though he had been expecting this to happen. You are also an excellent researcher indeed. Even on days you weren't on duty, you would come into the office diligently composing abnormality experiment reports. It must have been quite exciting for you, as an opportunity to wear the ego gear prototype of this abnormality was yours. A corner of the child's ego gear began to pulse and twist, growing into the form of a massive mallet. He stood before the confused researcher with a vague expression that could have been either sorrow or determination. What are you even talking about? Actually, forget that. There's been an abnormality containment breach. We're stuck in here thanks to your stupid locking mechanism. My locking mechanism opens under one of the following two conditions. 1. When my work is complete. 2. When an anomaly within the office has been dealt with. The latter must be fulfilled now, it seems. Oh, wait! Are you nothing there? It has been a fortnight since the expungement of your records. In the process of raising the attunement levels for the report, your resonance with the gear was broken, and you were devoured, having become a lure yourself. Thereafter, you were part of the abnormality itself, forced to amble hither and thither within the interiors of this department. I was? The child nodded gravely. His dour expression was hardly a surprise. The child had been fond of him. He was one of the very few junior researchers that he had been training to become a full-fledged researcher. You had never been one to establish a high level of resonance with that gear. What had lured him so, I wondered, to insist he would be the one to test it? So I am bereft of choices, but to use every hour of my existence to understand this ego and the abnormality. It is about time you are heretofore laid to rest, wouldn't you agree? Oh. The hammer was swung, and the abnormality shrouded within leapt out of his skin like a geyser. The child continues to swing the hammer, again and again, to complete this tragic abnormality suppression, so commonplace in all companies that dealt with abnormalities. Oof. Oof. Morbid. Okay, so we gain a +3 to his cap on skill power, and potency +2 on Clash Lose. Here we have Clash Lose gain skills targeting this unit ×2 final power, maximum of 6. So that'll be enough to actually make up for losing the clash outright. And increase the rupture count infliction by 2. The idiosyncrasies deal 0.8% more damage for every missing percent on health. At the moment it's 0.5, I see. Base power +1 for every skill that targets this unit to a maximum of 3, that gives us 19. But also if we have enough rupture on the target, that makes it 20. gain 3 Fairy Lure, and 8 aggro. Alright, good to know. And then 8 aggro to his counter skill. Gain 3 Fairy Lure, gain base power, but that doesn't change at all. I guess gaining base power on targets with too much rupture is the advantage. That you don't actually need high SP to get a lot of your power in there. On death, inflict a lot more rupture and rupture count. We're not doing that, but it's good to know. Anyway, next time on Limbus Company, it's back into the checkup. I don't know what's coming next, but I think it'll be a bit more complex than what we've been going through so far. Until next time, guys, take care. We'll see you all around.